Hey, everybody. Good evening. It's Think About It with your host, LaWanda DeShazer. As always, I want to start off by just thanking everybody for giving me a little bit of your time. Tonight, we're going to have a good show. I'm your guest and your host tonight. So, again, we're going to have a good time. And I just want to talk about a few things. You saw on the flyer, we're going to talk about what's going on here locally. But before we get into our community events, I do want to talk about, George Floyd, the case, and more importantly, now the bill. So we all know that what happened last summer, we all know we pretty much watched a man die before us at the hands of the police. We saw the last couple of weeks, the court case, and we saw that a police officer was held accountable for his actions. And, we said it's been a long time coming, but we finally saw accountability. I'm not even going to use the word justice. I'm going to use the word accountability. And we finally saw that. And I know a lot of people have been celebrating, and we've been doing some things, here in Wichita and all around the country, because again, we finally saw accountability. So to make it go full circle, right, to make sure that full accountability is on the table, we got to stand back and wait for the sentencing. And, that will tell us a lot. We'll see what the judge does and how that whole process plays out. And so speaking of, the whole George Floyd thing, everybody, there's a bill in Congress right now, the George Floyd bill. And if that bill is passed, and it's already been passed by the House, but if that bill is passed and signed into law, we will have even more accountability across the nation with all of our police stations. Last summer here in Wichita, we kept hearing, well, this isn't Minneapolis, this isn't Minnesota, and we know it's not, and we want to make sure it stays that way. And the only way that we can make sure is that we have accountability and we have it in law, because right now each state has different things that they can do. Each police department has its own policies, but if we can get some federal oversight, then that means across the board, everybody will be held to the same level of accountability. And so I want people to, wherever you live, I want you to email your senators and tell them to pass the bill. Every police department says that it's doing things by the book. Well, you want to prove it? Let's get some policies changed. Let's support the George Floyd bill. Let's put our money where our mouth is. And you guys already know that here in Wichita, I've been trying to put my money where my mouth is. I've met with the police officer, with the police chief, and I sat in meetings with the Racial Profiling Advisory Board, and we're going to have a meeting in the next couple of weeks. And so if you want to attend that meeting, we should have the police chief there, representatives from the department that checks out to make sure that everybody is held accountable. Oh God, I'm having a blank. It'll come back to me, or somebody put it in the chat for me. God, why am I having a blank? But it's the department that if you make a complaint, they review the complaint and find out if it's sustained or not, and if the complaint is accurate, and they got it the professional standards. That's it. I could not remember that. So we should have somebody from the Professional Standards Bureau, the police chief, leadership from the FOP. So we should have all three parties at the same table, which means that we can ask questions and somebody at the table should be able to answer it. So stay tuned. You'll be getting something from, again, the Racial Profiling Board, and the Wichita NAACP should be a part of that meeting. So stand by. Next couple of weeks, you'll see an invite to that meeting. Okay. So we're going to move on away from that subject. It's a very important subject. So remember to be on the lookout. It's cool to celebrate what happened with the George Floyd case, but it'll be even better to celebrate what happens in our own cities. It's better to celebrate that we've got some true policies changed right here in Wichita or wherever you live, whether it's Wichita, Las Vegas, Detroit, Atlanta, wherever you live. It's going to be so much better for everybody if we can get our own policies changed to make sure that we don't have another George Floyd. Okay, so I got the heavy stuff out the way. So on my list that I wanted to talk about was middle school football. So you may have all heard or may not have heard, our schools, Wichita Public Schools, are going to add middle school football. So 7th and 8th graders starting in the fall of 2021 will now have football. They already have basketball and track. And so football is going to our middle schools. And so you may say, well, what does that mean for our Little League program? Well, that's still happening as well. So the City League, Junior League football organization will now be from 1st grade to the 6th grade. And then 7th and 8th grade football will be at the middle schools. And so right now, there'll be 7 middle school. Well, we have 7 middle schools that feed into, we have middle schools that feed into our 7 high schools. And that's where the middle school football will be going on. And if you guys remember the Junior League Challenge, it's going to be Junior League Challenge 2.0, because now we'll have a better way to make sure that our youth truly are living up to those 3 goals: 95% attendance rate, 0 suspensions, and a 3.0 or above average in school. And so now we'll have a better way to make sure our kids are doing well in school as well as doing good on the football field. So we know in the counties, in the little suburbs or suburban areas around us, like the Mays and Andover's, they've been having middle school football for a really long time. And we think it's been giving their high schools an advantage. So now we can give our same kids in Wichita Public Schools the same advantage, and we can emphasize the athlete in those athletic programs. And so again, the goal will be to have 3.0 in school or better, 0 referrals to the office, 0 suspensions, and 95% attendance. So parents, it's going to be up to you now. Little League, you just show up at the field and you get to play, right? So from now on, they're going to be held to a higher standard. And I'm hoping that everybody is okay with that. 0 suspensions and 95%. Yeah. So hopefully everybody will be on board with expecting a little bit better from our youth. Y'all know I love football. And one of my concerns has always been to not punish our kids, but to help our kids. And so my hope and my goal is that once they hit the middle school level with the football program, instead of just benching a kid and telling them that they can't play, they'll put some measures in place to help the kid. We can identify earlier the kids that need some extra attention. And so I'm thankful that the school is taking a better look at our athletes. It's too many athletes, get to the high school level and then they find out they really aren't ready for the academics or they aren't ready for the college level. And so shout out to Alicia Thompson once again. Our principal is coming through for us. And it's not just, when I say us, I mean us. I mean every parent, every grandmother, every person that's been volunteering with our youth, trying to help them to succeed. We've put one more measure in place that can help our young people. And so again, shout out to our superintendent. She's doing an awesome job. Alicia, I know you'll see this at some point in time. And again, shout out to you. And I think that if you have a 8th grade team or 7th and 8th grade team this fall, And if your team, your boys decide they don't want to play for the school, I think that'll be an option that they can stay a standalone team, but we'll tackle that down the road. There should be, along with the middle school program, there will be approximately at least 7 head coaching positions, all the way up to 40 positions, maybe assistant coaches. Some schools will have A and B teams, depending on how many students are at the school. So we know there will be at least 7 positions associated with the middle school football program, and it could be all the way up to about 40. But again, let's stay tuned. Let's see what happens, and let's look out for that middle school football. And remember, the whole point of it, the emphasis is putting the student athlete back into the athletic program. All right. So we're going to move on. And if everybody can like and share this, that would be awesome. I'm trying to do a new process. And so if y'all can help me out, I'd appreciate it. So share this page with a group, somebody else, and like the page as well. Okay. Now we're going to move on to, okay, I said I wanted to do the heavy stuff first. I forgot about this. So along with meeting with the police chief and meeting with the FOP leadership and professional standards, I want you to remember the whole point of this is not to just have a conversation. The whole point is that this year in Wichita and other cities across the nation, our police union will be enacting a new contract, and the contract will be in place for, I believe, 2 years. And so this is our time as citizens, as taxpayers, to weigh in on that contract. It's our time to weigh in on the policies of the police department to make sure, again, we put measures in that protect all citizens. And so don't just talk about it, and don't just, say, yay, yay. Let's really put some teeth into this, and let's really demand accountability. And the only way to do that is to, when we go to these meetings, you got to speak up, and you can't just let somebody else talk on your behalf. You got to speak up, and you have to be heard. So again, when we have these meetings, the whole point is to get the FOP contract changed to some extent, to get the WPD policies changed to some extent. We need our city manager to buy into this, and we need our city council members to buy into this as well. Okay, so remember, it's not just about sitting down and having a meeting. It's about getting something in writing, and something substantial, and something that will hold on. All right, so now we can move on. Okay, so community events. I just wanted to take a little bit of time to let everybody know about some things that are going on in our city. And let me go to my list here. Okay, we are going to start off with Saturday, Monday, April 26th, which is tomorrow. We are going to have an event at the Launchpad, and that event is put on by Mr. Bryce Graham, and it is a fundraiser. And so he is doing a fundraiser to help his 3rd grade initiative that will be coming this summer. And so tomorrow, Eat, Drink, and Support. It starts at 6 p.m. There's a welcome, 6:15 cocktails, and at 7 o'clock the dinner starts. You can RSVP by, it says April 23rd, but I talked to him today and they're still accepting reservations. So you can RSVP to, let me get this on the screen for you, to wichitajacks@gmail.com. Again, that event is tomorrow night, ICT Launchpad, Eat, Drink, and Support. It's a fundraiser that will support their 3rd grade exploratory program that will be happening this summer. And in case everybody doesn't know, 3rd grade is a pivotal year. If your child by the 3rd grade can't read, is not doing really well in math, that's an indicator that they're going to have problems for the remainder of their school years. So third grade is a pivotal year. We have to make sure our kids can read and do math, or they're going to have problems moving forward. So this program will help with that initiative. All right. So again, contact ICT Launchpad, contact Bryce Graham, and get your tickets for that event that's happening tomorrow night. All right. Okay, we got some more things happening. On April 29th, and shout out to Representative Gail Finney. She's awesome. She is our girl. She fights so hard for us every day. And so on April the 29th, there will be a ceremonial signing of a bill. Let's see. The new urban transmissions line bill, better known as those big old poles. You remember those big old poles that hit Wichita a few years ago in one of the I won't say poorest communities or areas of Wichita, but it's an area where people are hardworking people every day, where they get out there and they're trying to grind and make a way, and they were not expecting to wake up one day and see these big old poles in their backyards. And so Representative Gail Finney has been holding West Star accountable ever since this happened. She's introduced bills. We almost got the bill passed last year, and it didn't pass, but she did not give up. She was at it again this year. And with her diligence and her steadfastness, we got a bill passed. And so in the future, in cities the size of Wichita and Kansas, that won't happen again. Again, when we do these bills and we do these things, it's all about accountability. And so now we're holding West Star, Evergy, any company that wants to invade on communities, they'll have a process now. They'll have to go through some steps. And so it will not be a surprise again. And again, we want to thank Gail Finney for working so hard on that bill. The governor will be here in Wichita on April 29th at 12:30 p.m. at the IASIS Christian Center to sign that bill. So again, if you are available, you should go there and bump fists with Gail Finney and thank her again for working so hard to make sure that that doesn't happen again in any community in the state of Kansas, in a city the same size as Wichita. All right. May 1st, there's an extravaganza May event. It is an outdoor event. And let me put this on there for you. I was trying to share my screen and it's not working, so I'll just give you this event. It is going to be happening May 1st. It's an outdoor event. I'm trying to find the flyer for you guys. It's an outdoor event. It's going to be held at the corner at 1605 South Popular. DJ Don in the Mix will be there. There'll be all kind of vendors and food, and we're going to have a good time. I don't know all the vendors that will be there, but I do know one vendor in particular will be there. My niece, Candace Carter. She sells Scentsy products, and she will be there with her booth, along with, like I said, with other vendors, music, food, good time. So if you're available, Saturday, May 1st from noon to 5, Extravaganza May outdoor event at the corner located at 1605 South Popular. And again, DJ Don in the Mix will be there for your entertainment. June the 6th, there's another event going on, and again with the launch pad. they are going to have, dang, my flyers aren't popping up the way I want them to. Let me try something different. Okay, so Launchpad Entrepreneurship Program, June 6th, 2021, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. They are looking to help launch 20 youth entrepreneurs. So they're going to do 2 age groups, 10 kids in each age group. So the first age group would be kids age 8 to 12, and the second age group is kids 13 to 17 years old. There is a fee for this. I want you, if you're interested, if you have some young people that are got a product or a job or something that they want to kick off and they need a little bit of help to jumpstart them, this may be a great opportunity for them. So again, that's on June 6th, 2021, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. ICT Launchpad. You can contact Tina Graham at 316-530-3236, or you can email ictlaunchpad@gmail.com for more information. Again, Bryce Graham and his wife are kicking off this program. So if you got a young one that's thinking about doing something in the entrepreneurship realm, hit them up. All right. And then speaking of young people and becoming entrepreneurs or whatever they desire to be, and again, they need some help kicking it off the ground. There will be a summer camp. Camp Destination Innovation Camp will be happening June 8th through June 25th. You can sign up your young people today. Just go to the website. And the website, I put it up there for you, campdestinationinnovation.com, and sign your young people up. It's a STEM camp, STEAM and entrepreneurship focused career development camp. So again, they're going to have almost a good month to focus on career development and STEAM and entrepreneurship. And if you guys remember, the word used to be STEM, but now that it's became STEAM, they've added an A, and it's all about also adding in arts and culture. So we got the STEM programs talking about math and engineering and all that good stuff. And the Greeks used to say a well-rounded person also had some literature and some arts in their lives. And so this camp is designed to help make sure you have a well-rounded individual. So contact Marquita Atkins, again, campdestinationinnovation.com, where you can register your young people. And it's going to be happening June 8th through June 25th. Sign up today. Okay. So, and there's another program that I really wanted to highlight, the Young Life program that's held at Oasis Church, and it's ran by Dr. Michelle Van and her husband, Pastor Van. And the Young Life program is a non-denominational outreach program for junior and senior high students with the message of hope through the gospel of Jesus Christ. It provides fun activities and food for young people. So the program is, again, it highlights, activities. It gives young people something positive to do. It helps to build up their self-esteem, and at the same time is teaching the principles of God. This is an awesome program. Some of my mentees are now in that program. We meet every other Thursday, the first and third Thursday of every month. If you have somebody in junior high or high school that's interested, reach out to Dr. Michelle Van and get more information. She said that there are still spots available. And again, it's an awesome program. I've been going, like I said, with my mentees, and the program so far has been awesome. Each summer, they have been going to some type of camp. And she said this year, because of coronavirus, they may not go to the camp they've been going to, but they're still going to offer some fun activities this summer for young people. So again, if you need something for your junior high school and high school kids to do, Young Life program, reach out to Dr. Michelle Van, and she can give you all the information that you need. All right. All right. Public service announcement. If you have been vaccinated, remember you still need to wear your mask. If you have not been vaccinated and you wish to, reach out to Sedgwick County and they can let you know where you can go and get your free shots. The Black Nurse Association here in Wichita have been doing an outstanding job of providing their services to help at churches to give out the vaccination shots. So again, if you still need to get a shot, contact Sedgwick County Health Department and they can let you know where you can go to get your shot scheduled. And if you decide you don't want a shot just yet, I encourage you to continue to wear your mask. Keep yourself safe and keep others safe. So no matter which route you go, until we get the all clear sign, still remember to wear your mask as much as possible when you're out in public. Remember that 6 feet, and now some people have dropped back to 3 feet, but keep your distance, stay smart, do your homework, do your research, and find out if that shot is for you. And if it is, call Sedgwick County Health Department and they can let you know where you can go to get your shots. Okay. And remember, it's still a good idea to also get tested. The Walgreens, CVS's, those places, you can just get online and make a reservation and you can still get tested anytime you like. So remember, stay safe. Corona is still out there. Things have loosened up a little, but Corona hasn't gone away. We've just been a little bit more smarter. And so I encourage everybody to continue to be smart about this virus and do what you can to protect yourself. All right. We are winding down. I think I've covered most of the events I wanted to cover. So I say the best one for last because that one is back. Let me get a drum roll. Sunset Summerfest Music in the Park is back. Yay! Last summer, coronavirus shut us down and we were not able to have our event. And this summer, it is back. It will be at McAdams Park, Saturday, August the 7th, starting from 6 to 9 p.m. We'll set up probably about 5, but the music will start at about 6. We have 2 confirmed bands so far, and I'm waiting on my 3rd one. And then we're also got a couple of singers lined up. And so it's going to be a really fun event. I am just super duper excited that Music in the Park is coming back. We have some awesome sponsors. Wichita Community Voice is still on board. The city of Wichita is a partner. The Parks Board, Park and Recreations is a partner. And we also have our first corporate sponsor, Emprise Bank. And I'm just so glad that this event is back and it's growing and it's free. Remember that it's free. Pass the word. It's free. It's always been a goal of mine to offer things to our community, quality things to our community that are free. You can go to a big city anywhere and there's music in the park all the time. And it was missing in Wichita. And so that was something that I had a vision, and the park board worked with me to came on as partners, and it's happening. This will be the 3rd year. Would have been the 4th, but this will be the 3rd year that is happening. Again, we have our first corporate sponsor. I do have a sponsor that would have been a corporate sponsor, but they are an anonymous donor. So we'll keep them anonymous, and that person knows, that company knows who they are, and I really do appreciate them, because without them, it would not have got kicked off the ground. So again, everybody that's been supporting Music in the Park, it's coming back. Yay! We're going to have DJ Ricky Rick in the house. Mr. Brent Garrett is going to be one of our MCs. My brother Ulysses DeShazer will be out there. Coach Pops. We're going to have a good time. So remember, Saturday, August 7th, mark the calendar. Don't put anything else on that date. Save it for McAdams Music in the Park. Sunset Summerfest is back. Yay! We will have food vendors there. And because this event is free and we're not making any money off of it, the vendors that come, they will be informational vendors. So if you have like State Farm was there one summer, and I'm hoping they come back. So if you have an informational booth that you would like to set up at McAdams Park on Saturday, August the 7th, Sunset Summerfest, let me know. There will not be a fee for you to set up your booth. If as long as you're an informational booth, because remember, we're not trying to make money off the community. We're trying to uplift the community. And so if I'm not going to make any money, nobody else is either. I'm just playing. That's part of the contract with the city. It's not about making money. It's about providing a community event, a community service. So again, August the 7th, mark your calendars. And I think that's all that I had for everybody tonight. Remember to be looking out for that meeting with the police chief, the FOP leadership, and professional standards board. And remember to speak up. It doesn't do us any good to celebrate if we aren't making sure things in our own cities are being done accordingly, and people right here in our own city are being held accountable. So remember that. One last thing. This year, District 1 and District 3, and I believe District 6 city council seats are up for election. If you have any desire to run for office, you have until the end of May to get your paperwork in. You can always call the elections office and they'll tell you what you need to know. But again, District 1, 3, and I believe 6 for the city council, but don't quote me on that last one, but I definitely know District 1. And as of right now, I am not running for city council, but if I were, let me tell you something you would never hear me say. You would never hear me say we need more police in our community, but you would hear me say we need another study to see how policing is being done in our city. So I know we're already over police. I wouldn't advocate for that. I would advocate for more development in District 1 that really enhances the citizens that have been overlooked. So if you look around, go down some main streets, and I am talking about northeast part of District 1. Go down some of those streets and you can see development has not been happening. So if I were running for city council, I would be advocating for development for those that have been underserved and overlooked. But I'm not. But if I were, I would be a supporter of keeping Century 2 if I were running for city council. I think it's an awesome building, and it distinguishes Wichita. When you see that roof, you automatically know it's Wichita. Now, what goes on in the building could always be a compromise, and we could work on some things, but I would not advocate to bulldoze that building if I were running for city council. If I were running for city council, and one of the things that I would be advocating for is something named after Mr. Theo Cribbs Jr. He's been putting in the work for over 50 years, helping our young people. I researched Dr. Glenn Dye Park, which we formerly known as Grove Park. That park was named after that gentleman, and I read why. And they said he was a really nice guy. He showed up to a lot of community events, and everybody really did respect him. But in the heart of the Black community, Grove Park's name was changed not to represent the people that surrounds it. Now, I know all the city parks are for everybody. I know that, and I get it. But to do a deliberate name change, I think should have had a little bit more deliberation, you know. But anyway, I've been advocating for something to be named after Mr. Theo Cribs Jr. And if I were running for city council, that would be on my agenda as well, because he's been putting in the work. We always talk about these grassroots efforts and grassroots people, but we don't always acknowledge the work that they've done, you know. So there's just a few things that would be on my platform if I were running for city council. And as of right now, I'm not running. All right. So again, I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in to think about it. We are going to continue to be your source for what's going on in Wichita, our community, and things that happen nationally that has an effect on us right here. So thank you for your time. And remember, this is the show guaranteed. If you watch, you will always have something to think about. Bye.